If you think of it like charging a battery pack, or even better, as depositing money into a bank account, that helps you to sort of see the value in it. We're teaching our dog that it's fun and rewarding to run back towards us when they hear the word yes. And we're repeating the exercise enough times that the idea is that it becomes automatic or reflexive. Remember, yes only ever means come and get what I have. Take what you have and throw it for the dog, or lure it and have a game with it. But we don't ever want the dog to confuse it with, well done, now go grab whatever it is you want in the environment as your reward. So a marker is a word or a sound that is said before delivering the reward, either food or a toy, to the dog. To be more specific, our yes marker will be a terminal marker that tells the dog to come back to us to receive their reward, rather than going and helping themselves to something else in the environment that they like the look of. As it is a terminal marker, that means that they are then free to go do their own thing until you give them new directions. So in other words, it terminates the behaviour that you asked for. When the two events, yes, and then the delivery of the food, when the two events happen in connection with one another, often enough for the dog to link the two together in his mind, then the sound of the marker begins to predict the arrival of the reward to the dog. Dogs are especially receptive to learning through cause and effect. So if you're consistent with your training, you'll be able to use this to your advantage. This is the power of classical or Pavlovian conditioning. The way I like to teach this is with an exercise that I call the pendulum. So the dog's swinging back and forth between rewards, and you're there in the middle. The dog's going back and forth and then coming to you. How do we do this? Number one, choose somewhere quiet and without distraction. So perhaps your backyard. We've suggested you use a 5 metre long line, or you could even tie a couple of leads together if you wanted to, but that can drag a bit because you have the extra metal hardware in between. Anyway, it's not important for this exercise, so long as your dog can work at a distance for you, but you still have a connection to them so they can't just run off and do their own thing. Ready your treats in a pouch or your pocket. This works well with larger chunks of meat. In my video with chili, I use just sliced up sausage, leftover sausage from the kids' dinner the night before. Easier for the dog to see as they roll, so it's just easier for them to chase and grab rather than having to sniff, which just takes the momentum out and it becomes a different exercise then. So now with the dog looking at you, mark, I say yes, then take a treat from my bag. So important I say yes before reaching into the bag. Take a treat out, roll it to the left for them to chase and grab. As soon as the dog eats it and looks back at me, I mark again, yes, then reach into my pouch, take a piece of kibble and roll off to the right. The dog chases that. As soon as she turns to look at me again, I say yes, and then go to get the treat. As she's coming to me, instead of rolling it this time, I feed it a couple of pieces, maybe jogging back a little bit, get some movement in, make it fun, make it a bit of a party, and then repeat the sequence again. So you can always do this a few times when you're just about to go out on a walk, or if you've gone somewhere new, you want to get the dog dialed into you. This is just a fun exercise that you can do with your dog just to get them focused on you and just able to take in the environment without going crazy. You know, sort of reactive dogs obviously can be very tuned into their environment when they get somewhere new. So this just brings their attention back onto you and what you have to offer them, which is fun and food. So repeat the sequence when you're initially charging your marker. So roll, potty, 5 to 10 times, let's say, on an empty stomach. So they're really into it. Then they can have the rest of their meal from their bowl, or however it is you want to feed them. You can do a scatter feed. It's quite fun as well. If you have a nice lawn, bit of grass, you can just do a scatter. You can just throw the kibble out and then they can spend 10, 20 minutes just snuffling through the grass to get that. That's a much more sort of chilled out exercise and separate from the pendulum. So why is it important? If you think of it like charging a battery pack, or even better, as depositing money into a bank account, that helps you to see the value in it. We're teaching our dog that it's fun and rewarding to run back towards us when they hear the word yes. And we're repeating the exercise enough times that it becomes automatic or reflexive. A bit like sometimes when you're driving and you can't remember how you got from your home to the shops because you do it every day, and your car kind of drives itself. You're sort of doing things in your subconscious. It's the same thing with dogs. Behaviours, if you repeat them often enough, they can become automatic or reflexive, and that's what we want with our yes marker, and eventually, as we'll see later in the programme, with our recall. But it does require repetition and consistency. So this exercise has so many real world applications. Most importantly, it becomes an informal recall for when your dog is distracted by something in the environment. For example, your border collie sees a child on a scooter across the street, freezes, thinking, do I chase it, bite it, bark at it? You spot his hesitation. Spot the ears go forwards, the brow furrows, they freeze a little bit. But before he can make a bad choice, you mark the interest, because interest is fine. It's fine for a dog to look at something and to take an interest. You say yes, at which point he reflexively turns back to you, and then you can give him his reward. You know, it's fine for dogs to take an interest. That's what we want. We want them to be aware of their environment when they're out and about, have fun, see new interesting things. We just don't want it to escalate into reactivity. So that's why we charge a yes marker. How do you know when your yes marker is charged? Whether it's a verbal yes or the sound of a clicker, you know the signal has become meaningful to the dog when you can say or click it, do it from the next room or from across the room when the dog's sleeping or distracted, and they turn and come running to you to receive their reward. Okay, so that's, a way to test it. But just make sure you've got a reward. If you're going to do that, if you're going to test them, make sure you've got something to give them, because otherwise they might not bother the next time. You'll be like, whatever. She said yes last time and it wasn't worth me getting out of bed. Okay, so remember, yes only ever means come and get what I have. You can take what you have and throw it for the dog, or lure it and have a game with it. But we don't ever want the dog to confuse it with, well done, now go grab whatever it is you want in the environment as your reward. That's going to be a different marker. Yes has to mean come check in with you, see what you have to offer them before they can then relax and go and do something else. Okay.